If you only ever watch one video on manifestation to completely change your life, then let it be this one. Now, you already know what the modern Western self-help, personal development, and manifestation teachings tell us. They say your thoughts become your words become your actions, and your actions your habits, and your habits your character, and your character becomes your destiny. Fix your thoughts, they say, and your whole life will follow. Millions have tried this, and for almost all of them, something quietly never worked. And this can still give us some level of hope and some level of success on certain dimensions of life temporarily, but that deep inner alignment and outer success that is truly meaningful for us is never achieved by most people. But thousands of years ago, the rishis wrote the same chain down, but in a much deeper way. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, chapter 4, verse 5, talks about this. But the Upanishads go far deeper than any manifestation teaching you would have ever listened to. They don't talk about your thoughts, but they traced your reality to the root. The Upanishad says, what you deeply desire shapes your will. Your will shapes your actions, and your action shapes what you become. Which means the level modern manifestation works on is not the level where your life is actually decided. And by the end of this video, you will truly master manifestation. I will give you all the missing pieces that you have been searching for your whole life. And you will understand the 4 levels beneath every result in your life, and why the manifestation you are taught works only on the slowest ones, and the deepest level is where real changes happen. We will also cover a powerful 4-part equation, which if you follow and if your goals are in alignment with who you are, manifestation will inevitably follow. With this, let's come to level 1. And level 1 are your outcomes. And this is what everybody is looking for. Everyone is looking for some kind of outcomes with respect to their wealth, health, relationships, their inner peace, whatever. Right? Let's call this your outcomes. Almost all manifestation lives here. They picture it, feel it, vibrate at it. And to get this and to achieve these outcomes, the manifestation teachings say work on your behavior. This is your level 2. Almost all of manifestation teachings live here because outcomes follow behavior. It's very obvious. The way you behave, the actions you take, the decisions you make, they result in the outcomes of your life. And the manifestation teachings say picture it, visualize it, feel it, state your affirmations, and the outcomes will follow. But actually look at your life. After years of practicing affirmations and visualization, are you truly living your full potential? Are you actually happy? If not, then there is something that you're missing. So we need to move to the next level. Behavior itself follows your thoughts, emotions, and what Vedanta says, your vasanas and samskaras. Right? Together we can call it the tendencies. And tendencies are these subtle movements in your mind and in your very self. It determines every direction of your life. Vasanas come even before thoughts, even before vritti in the Vedantic understanding. By the time a thought comes to your mind, it's already too late. It's already an outcome. It's already a consequence. The original source of the thought came much before the thought itself, but you were never conscious of it. It emerges at an unconscious level. Now that's a topic for another day, but these tendencies come before behavior. So behavior itself follows tendencies. This is how we understand things at ACS. And this is where some personal development programs and manifestation teachings work at. Right? Improve your thoughts, change your beliefs, break your limiting beliefs. They all have their place, but you will understand today why they are very limited. They're limited because tendencies themselves follow your swabhava. Swabhava is your nature. We can call it your identity, but identity is a very limited word for this. But it is who you are which emanates these tendencies, these thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. And I have seen very few teachings, very advanced teachings, which work at this level. And even when we work at this level, certain significant shifts can happen in our life with respect to the external results, money, health, relationships, and so on. But if you want both external success and inner peace, then what you need to understand is the fifth level. And here you need to understand that Swabhava, your identity itself, follows your consciousness or your awareness. This is what certain cultures call your soul, your spirit, that dimension of you, which is beyond the body, mind, outcomes, behavior, tendencies, identity, and everything else. It is the source of who you are, it is the essence of who you are, it is the limitless potential of who you are. That is why the Upanishads say, Tattvamasi, you are that. You are the consciousness, not the body, mind, and your outcomes. That's why the Upanishads say, Aham Brahmasmi, I am limitless, I am boundless. Now, obviously, the Upanishads are not speaking about the body here because body is always bound, it is always limited, right? So, this is where we work at within Advaita Conscious Society. This is what we specialize in. And our members have experienced amazing shifts in each dimension of their life in terms of their inner peace, their wealth, their relationships, their health, when we work on this level, because this is where true change happens. Now, to understand what is your awareness and what is consciousness, you can check more videos on our channel that we have made on this specific subject and on what this dimension is and how to access it more and more. But now let's come to the important part, that is the equation that you need to understand. And if you truly understand the equation, you understand almost everything about manifestation. All the missing pieces will be covered now. Now we call this the conscious creation equation. This is not superficial manifestation, but this is a conscious evolution and a conscious creation of your ideal life. There are 4 parts to it, and the first part is a sankalpa. Sankalpa is not any desire, but it is a strong, heartfelt intention to live your full potential, your complete expression, right? If you are an entrepreneur and if your work is truly meaningful for you, if you feel that that is your purpose to help millions of people, to help to grow globally and to add value, now that is your purpose, that is your sankalpa. It can be your career, or for most people, it is an ideal life of wealth, health, relationships, and inner peace. A balanced, holistic life where a person is expressing their full potential and contributing positively to society and the world. Whatever it is, find it out for yourself. It should not be very superficial. It should be very deep. You need to have a strong why. And to do that, you need to understand who you are. Now, after this video, we will link a free training through which you can actually begin the conscious reality creation journey within ACS to completely change the direction of your life. In that video, you will also see how certain people have completely changed their lives and how there is a path. If you walk with consistency and sincerity, everything can change. But now, let's come to the second part, that is Samarpana or surrender. Now, this is the most important part. Most people make their mistake in the first step itself, in the first part itself. They don't have a strong sankalpa. They don't have a strong vision for their life. What they have is very superficial, very feeble. It fades away over time. Maybe because of society, their parents, they have these superficial goals, but it is not truly meaningful for them. Because it's not truly meaningful, they give up on it very soon. So having a strong intention and a strong resolve and pursuing something which is actually truly meaningful for you, which is your swadharma or your purpose, is something which is important. Then comes surrender. This is the second mistake people do. they become obsessed with their goals, they become attached with their goals. What you need to do is to let go. This is where devotion helps. If you worship God in any way, this is very, very powerful for you. Even if you are not a theist, if you are an atheist or an agnostic, just learn the art of surrender. Just learn the art of detachment, where you are not bothered by whether that goal comes to your life or not, or whether that thing actually manifests or not. Just let go of this goal and this intention to that intelligence, that God or universe, whatever you wish to call it. So absolute and complete surrender is the second part. If you're not doing this, manifestation doesn't occur, or it takes a lot of time and effort. Then comes the third part, which is again very important, which is the removal of vikalpas. This is again an important thing that we help people do. And this is where you audit your beliefs, your tendencies, your thoughts, and the narratives that you have built. You will examine your worldview. What do you believe about the world? What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about money and health and relationships? Some people call it limiting beliefs. So all the counter narratives, counter intentions should be removed in order for something to manifest. Like we covered in the verse earlier, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, as our deepest desire is, so is our destiny. So technically, if you have a strong desire, that has to manifest, that has to give you your goal. But why is it not happening? It is happening because you yourself are stopping it. There are these counter intentions which are negating this primary intention, which are breaking and which are draining the power of the sankalpa. So at ACS we call this vikalpa, and all these vikalpas have to be systematically removed. And again, this requires a lot of awareness and contemplation, and there are certain tools which can make this happen. And then comes the fourth part, which is the embodiment of the ideal identity. And one of the strongest vikalpas is fear. Fear of not attaining your goal. Fear of both known and unknown. Fear is the opposite of faith, right? Fear indicates the absence of faith. And if there is no faith, there is no manifestation. So fear has to be properly audited, and we need to completely eliminate fear as much as possible so that the energy can flow towards the goal. So apart from limiting beliefs, we also need to eliminate fear from our life. And one powerful way of eliminating fear, to accept the possibility of not living that manifested life. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Why will I have a goal and a strong intention and then I'll be okay with not having it? But that is how reality is, because the more you want a goal or a outcome, the more you are projecting the energy of the lack of it, right? So only if you can let go of that attachment will you ever bring it into your life. So that is the removal of your vikalpas, that is all your counter intentions and your fears. Then comes the fourth part, which is the most important one, that is the embodying of your ideal swabhava, your ideal identity. Now you need to transition into a personality and identity which is truly powerful and which is the highest expression of who you are, which doesn't have any fears, which doesn't have any counter intentions, which has realized its purpose, which has a strong resolve, which is completely surrendered, and it is detached, right? When all these things are followed, then magic. And it is actually radiating that energy, that power, that vibration of that ideal life, which is actually capable of living that. That is the version of you that you need to embody. Once these four parts are fully followed, the ideal life is a natural outcome of it. Nobody can stop you from having it. This is the divine law. When your intention is clear and it is truly meaningful for you and it is an expression of you and it is in alignment with dharma, that is morality, and then if you have completely surrendered it to divine and you have removed all the counter intentions and fears, and if you are embodying that ideal identity, the ideal version of you, then the goal is a natural consequence. So save this video and comment your biggest takeaway from this video. And whenever something doesn't happen in your life, and if you're trying to manifest and if something is not working, come back to this video and this equation. See where you are getting stuck. This is what we tell members to within ACS also. Just see whether your intention is strong, whether your goal is something that you actually want or you think you want. First examine that. If that is right, then move to the second part, where see if you are surrendering, if you are detaching from that, or are you obsessed with it? Are you radiating the energy of lack? Check that. Then move to the third part. Are there any limiting beliefs? Are there any fears that are draining the energy? So audit that and then see whether you are embodying your ideal identity, that powerful, confident, abundant, free version of you. And the one foundation for this entire equation is the consciousness, is the awareness. So apart from the equation, also see if you are self-aware, if you are conscious in terms of who you are being and what you are.